Oh, you want to put it over there?
Oh, yeah, I guess I could do that. I didn't think of that.
So, but I'm not trying to get you to smoke it. It's out.
Ooh,
What's that? Extras.
why? Why is the frame rate so low?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeesh. You know, I reinstalled NVIDIA and I was like, maybe that's just because of my troubles. I need to do the app. I need to update the app. Apparently not. My drivers are all up to date and everything.
Oh, well, anyway. Hey, everybody, this is John,
This is Nerd Leader.
and
Yep.
Doom.
Doom.
Yes. More of a long time ago, but somehow in the future.
You know, I haven't like paying too close attention to the lore, but I did see a video recently where someone was talking about this in passing, and they were saying that one of the things that made it hard to invest in compared to other Dooms is that the people you're saving aren't humans.
Ah,
They're just some other race that lives out in space, and it's like, I wonder if that's true or if that's just an assumption. Like, I can't say I've been paying close enough attention to know for sure if they're human, because Doomslayer was at least once human, right?
yeah. Ooh, man, these frames. What is
Yeah.
going on?
Summoned Cthulhu for bad frame rates.
He's not. I can't move forward?
Do you have to push, like, the jump button to swim? No. Not Mario rules.
What is happening?
I think it might be input delay. Yeah, you are swimming. You just got horrible input delay and awful frames. Might have to, yeah, start the game or something.
That was foul. Foul.
Oh, I put it back.
Oh. As for the future.
Ah, okay.
Well, we're trying to get started here, but I don't know. The game just decided, nah, no frames for you. Doom the Dark Ages is the frame Nazi.
Ah.
I hate Seinfeld.
I don't know, someone to start.
It takes a second. Let's see here. And is it working on the other one? It is. Ooh, you know what I didn't do though? I didn't do this.
There you go.
And now we can see the chats.
Frames seem to be moving
frames,
normally.
Frames. Glorious, glorious frames.
This, yeah.
Previous levels mock me and my incompletion.
Ah.
There we go.
Oxygen levels depleting.
So what creature type would you have the, like, in 3rd edition, would you have them be, outsiders, abominations? What would you have the Cthulhu mythos creatures be?
You can do both.
Yeah. You mean they could simultaneously be both?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. There are some entries for some outsiders like that.
They have both creature types?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure. So now you're making me question my sanity again.
I feel like for some reason I thought in like 3.0 stuff could only have one creature type, and like creature subtypes that grant them straight up creature types came later. So I feel like if you have, like, let's say you have a, what are they called? The things you add to a character, like Lich is one and Vampire is one.
Templates.
Template. Yeah, let's say if you have a template and you add that to a character and it makes them something like an element or an outsider, they stop being what they were and start being that.
There are some of those that do that, but I want to say that there are some that just add to it.
Okay.
We can look at that up later. Remind me, because I would hope that I'm not misremembering that.
Well, there's going to be a battle here eventually.
Tell me I'm about to have a boss fight without telling me I'm about to have a boss fight.
Yeah. You know, I'm not sure if you're walking around in a place that has oil instead of water, or if that's just really oiled water. So you need to hit that with your shield, apparently. Yes, the jumping is so normal in this game. Just keeps getting normaler and normaler.
It's the normalist.
Yep.
No, I stared at that until you said that. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? Oh yeah, shield charge. So it's been a while since I played this, and this is my proof. Why? 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 Oh my god, even more why.
I guess you are going to be fighting new kinds of creatures because you're not in the same, like, place anymore.
Oh.
Oh, never mind. I guess it was just a new type of enemy. It's pretty standard demons.
Nice.
For some reason, and I'm not saying it's a big deal one way or the other, I thought this level was whipping out one of those, well, you're there, so everything here is going to be just here. It's not something you really see in video games anymore, is it? Like, this level assets.
I mean,
Like,
you kind of do, but I mean, the way these assets just take up space,
yeah.
it's kind of hard to justify doing that anymore.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there's not reason for it. I was just thinking about how, you know, it's not something you really see, because like I said,
Yeah.
everything's so resource intensive.
That and game devs are lazy.
Yeah.
You know, the typical answer.
I know Nintendo games are prone to this, but other stuff has it too. But think about, like, in Mario 3, how many enemies you think of when you think of Mario 3, and it turns out they're only in, like, one level. You know what I mean? Or, like, 2 or something like that. Like, even though it feels like it comes up a lot, think about how often, and he's one that comes up more than some other stuff does, the big fish comes up. He's in, what, like, 2-3 levels?
So that was something I was speaking to my brother about recently, that Mario 3 really sold the power-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you the Hammer Brothers! The Tanuki suit.
Yep.
Oh, hey, you can jump around in one of these shoes.
Yeah.
How often do any of those power-ups come up?
Yeah. I think the shoe is literally only either in one level or in two, and there are 2 Hammer Brother suits in the whole game, I think.
And,
There might be a way to get more, but I think there's 2. And, like, technically, I guess you could build them up with game overs. But, yeah. Well, and there are a lot more Tanuki suits in the game than I used to think they were, because a lot of them are hidden in, like, levels.
yeah. But, it
Is
was
there
really
a Hammer Brother suit like that? There is, right? There's one that's actually showed up in a level and you have
Yeah.
to grab it.
It's
I
in
forgot
the-
about that. 'Cause
It's in the land of the... There's one in the land of the giants, and there might be one in the ice levels. I can't remember.
I know there's at least a house that gives you one in the ice levels. I don't know that there's one in a level though. I can't remember. I think we're describing the 2 in the game unless there's more I just don't know about. And I can see that. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know about Mario 3 for a long time. Like, I didn't know the specifics of getting, like, the coin ship. I knew it involved getting coins, but I didn't know there were only some levels that you can activate it from. And it's not so much getting all the coins, it's over a certain amount or something like that.
Where am I supposed to go? Guess maybe this way.
There's in hell, right?
I'm not exactly sure where I am. I'm gonna say hell, because that's
Okay.
just kind of the go-to Doom answer.
Well, I guess I was just kind of asking where you were dimensionally. Because I know there's lots of different places in the 2 different universes, but, like...
Yeah.
You know, that's something I often think about is... And I know that it's the simplicity of the Planet of Hats, but, like...
What am I missing here?
Now, I'm not saying there aren't desert worlds in real life, but, like... It's kind of like how... Like, what kind of... You could argue that Earth is a water planet or something, right?
Sure.
But, like, when it comes to our land environments, they're actually quite varied, right? Along with everything else, you know, but, like... Oh... It's funny how often whole dimensions in fiction are a planet or like a land. Okay, in Legacy of Kain / Soul Reaver, what defines Nosgoth? The setting.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's not too important whether it's a land, a world, whatever. You know what I mean? It's where you are. That's what's important. It's where the pillars matter for things like that. But, you know, like, if I you know, is it even Earth?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying it's not, but, like, you know. Of course, that's something you don't see as much as you used to, is settings that are just like, no, this is in our setting. It's not Earth, anything like that. It's...
Oh.
There you go.
I was sitting there like, what am I not engaging with here?
So shooting things at other things by hitting things.
Yeah.
They done bamboozled you.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh no!
Once I saw the forward so close, I was really not sure if you die or not. Does that almost look like somewhere like, nope, walk the fuck back? You know what I mean?
There we go.
Is he leaving damage on the floor? Maybe not.
Damn.
Ooh, he's creating damage areas on the floor though, not like over time ones, just more like I did bam damage. That's what he's doing.
Okay, I fucking died. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this guy's dangerous. 2 new enemies in 1 level, it's a little surprising. You know, I know some games in the past and now will tell you what everything is in some way or another, but something I always thought was funny in a game is you read the manual, there's no monster list, right?
Yeah.
You play the game, it doesn't tell you the name of monsters when you aim at them, anything like that. And then it's like, go kill 5 Bobos. It's like, what the fuck is a Bobo?
Yeah. I've had games. I've played MMOs like that. Where you just kind of get thrown into the world and they just kind of expect you to know. And you're like, how the fuck am I supposed to know?
Yeah. And part of what I mean by that is, in a lot of these games, it's not one of those things that's like saying, go kill 5 rats. It's like, I guess those rats didn't count, or I just gotta find rats or something. It's like I said, it's always something very esoteric.
Yeah.
You know, like, something that, I don't want to say only exists in this world, but essentially more or less, you know.
Oh, neat. And suddenly you're swimming.
Yep. This does seem to be Eldritch Hell.
Yeah.
See, I started thinking about magic cards too much again. I can't think of anything when I do that without thinking of it as, what if that was a magic card? Maybe that would be an equipment.
You know, a Doom Magic crossover would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would turn it into a 500 card set, but
Here's a question. Would you have the Slayer and Doom guy be 2 different cards?
yes. Yes. I mean, mileage. Mileage. This is a set you would need mileage. Well, I think fucking the Final Fantasy set that just came out. I'm aware of at least 2 cloud cards.
Yeah, well,
And I'm speculating that there's a third if I'm reading some of these entries correctly.
you think Doom would work as a full set like Final Fantasy, or it should be more like, I guess Warhammer could have worked that way, but I'm more like the way they did that, and that, for all I know, they released more cards since then, but when they originally released it, it was 3 or 4 not booster packs, commander decks. They were all, well, not all, mostly new cards. There were, of course, some pre-existing cards, but, you know, all the actual Warhammer stuff was in those stuff, but, like, do you think, I guess Doom has enough for a full set at this point.
Like I said,
There'd be a lot of demon cards.
yeah.
Do you think Hell would be blue, black, and red? Or just red and black?
Ooh. I don't know. I don't know the game well enough to answer that. I will say this. It would be hard because you'd have to do cards that represent all colors, and that's kind of a... That's easy to do with, say... Well... No. I guess I could come up with something for each, but still... Okay, but I don't see a thing.
Wait, what's that glowing thing on the wall? That's just a light, never mind. It's like, is that a corpse? But no, it's not. I'm just used to the... how'd you get in here?
Wait, what's that?
Come
Through
down
here.
this way? Okay.
I came in here through here.
Yeah, you probably do need to go back in there. It seems the only way you can go. Unless you can open this door. Hey, wait, look up. Like, one of those things looked like it was open, like that. Can you get up to that somehow?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't see anything to get me up there at least. So this is the way I gotta go. No. Okay.
Try shooting or throwing your shield at that. Oh, money.
That didn't do what I expected it to do. Well, I'll take it. I will take it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's how I get up there.
There you go, throw your shield at the glowing thing above that door. Nope.
That's kind of what I gotta do. Ah, yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I was looking for. There we go. There we go. Oh, wow. Dude, guy has jumps. It's really short.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I don't even know what the fuck happened there. Dang. Dangles.
Yeah. You should. These two guys throwing that kind of stuff at me. This seems equivalent to a Keko demon over there, it seems.
Ah! Ah! God damn. Oh shit, I thought I was dead. That's why I stopped paying attention.
This room's rough.
A little bit.
Just remember to be shouted as soon as you get in here, start moving.
Oh, you know what? This is a thing. This room suddenly stopped being so hard. do I need to do to get their shields down? What am I not doing?
I don't know. Was it talking about them right there?
Oh, fuck, I wasn't paying attention. You know, that could be the problem, too. No, away with you. Ah, come the fuck on, game. Good point, Gabe.
Is that what's good against the purple shields? That, like, the guys who have shields, that they're purple energy instead, is that what's good against them?
I mean, that's what I was trying out, but nothing's happening, so... New plan. Ah.
There are a lot of holes in this floor.
Yeah, there are.
You think you have to, like, bounce their shit back at him? I guess his shield's gone.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I don't know. Maybe you just heard him enough that it went away.
Me, Guts.
Getting his shield again.
Ah, those assholes. Hit me.
Yeah.
Give me your delicious health.
Cool.
Whew. I wasn't sure if I was going to land there.
Yeah,
Oh, I
have to
could make
say-
that fall, but I couldn't make the one earlier. Okay,
Yeah.
game.
I do have to say that I'm even watching this as much as I have. I'm not sure where your feet are. Sometimes I'm not sure if they're narrow or wide.
I have no feet.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But like,
Okay. Sorry, got Eyes are bothering me.
Yeah, so you could break that. Slightly different angle. Oh, maybe you have to be somewhere else to get to it.
Maybe.
The opposite of it.
This.
Ah. Okay. Hmm.
Okay. Need. That's where I came in. Ah.
You might have to do that after it falls.
True.
You think the roots are blocking it?
I don't think it's making it all the way up there.
Ah. Hmm.
Okay.
Is that just a repeat of the water on the ground where you are and sim effects and everything? Just mirrored on the ceiling?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Huh.
That's kind of neat, I guess. Ah, okay, here we go.
Hey, you see that one's climbable? That one over there?
Yeah, but
It's probably not going to go up yet. You probably have to go climb that one so you can get an angle on the thing.
this is so weird.
You probably got to go through the water.
Probably. Yep, yep. This game has odd puzzles.
Yeah. Anything else up here?
Possibly
I guess
not.
Oh, go twirl the thing again.
Oh. Good thing it's climbable in that one portion of it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know the Slayer, he only climbs where other Doom guys have used it as a scratching post.
Okay, so now we're headed back this way.
But you know, I've recently heard that in Magic cards, people are interested in starting making mutant-specific decks, because mutants have been in Magic for a long time, but they tend to work in other kinds of decks. They just happen to be the kind of creature it is.
Yeah.
But there's two mutant payoffs now. Genova and Jonathan Bright, I think is his name, that ghoul who's trying to go to space.
Okay.
They both have cards that power up mutants.
I did see the commander decks for Fallout were getting fairly cheap. Why can I not go backwards? What the fuck?
You couldn't walk back and shit?
I could not move backwards. I don't know what the hell I was stuck on. I can
Huh.
move now. Huh. But yeah, I saw those commander decks were pretty cheap now. I'm kind of surprised by that, considering that, you know, the second season's been announced. and it's partway through production. I haven't checked in on it. I don't know if they've wrapped production on it or not yet. I know that they had to put a pause on it because of the LA fires.
Well, I wonder if it has to do with, as much as people like Fallout, people aren't as connected to the characters of Fallout as they are to something like Final Fantasy.
That is true. Oop. Fastest selling set, according to Wizards, is the new Final Fantasy one.
Like, I know they're both bastards to fight, but like, you think back more fondly on Yao Guai or Bombs?
Bombs, I guess. You got me there. Well, there's a lot more to kind of... I don't know. It's a different connection kind of experience because, in Final Fantasy, you're connecting to, like, these characters and their story. And Fallout, you're connecting to your character and your story.
Yeah. Fallout is more personal in that way, most certainly.
Oh, hey, there it is. There was a...
Ooh, wait, there was a thingy up there.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
look in
trying
that
to
hole. Can you, like, see it from, like... No, go back to where you were. You could see it from in there.
Yeah, I didn't know... Oh.
Yeah, like, go around and see if there's any holes that look through the thing. Because there was a hole up there that I think you could see it from. Like, keep going this way and, like... Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Hell, a design on an anti-ergonomic design philosophy.
I mean, how do people get around in hell with all of this bullshit? Oh! This is still more fun than fucking Doom Eternal. I wanted to like that game so much. It is a fun game. Like, the combat is super fun, but... God, the challenges that they present you with, it's just like... Yeah, I get it. Fighting a lot of demons, I get it. Can I move on now?
Well, it's funny because something that kind of ends up fighting what you're talking about is kind of a cultural concept of, like... Okay, you remember in The Simpsons when Lisa joined that, military school, right?
Yeah.
And at one point, she was complaining about it to Bart, about how hard it was. He's like, I thought you came here for a challenge. And she's like, duh, a challenge I can do. And that was meant to be Lisa being kind of falling short and being silly, you know what I mean? But, like, when it comes to stuff like entertainment, yeah, that is the thing, like, people keep trying to get me to play the harder Souls-like games, and it's like, I'm trying to have fun, well, you know what I mean, like,
yeah, here, I will say this, Dark Souls is fun.
okay.
If you've been liking Kingsfield your whole life, there'd be little reason to not like Dark Souls. I would think. Now, Dark Souls 2, fuck that game. A lot of shenaniganry with that game. Things are a lot more fun to fight in this one.
Oh.
There's not a lot of fun shit to fight, I don't think, in Doom Eternal. It's a fine game, you know, whatever. Like I said, the combat's fun and all of that, but... My god, Marauders are such a pain in the ass to fight. And Marauders are such an easy thing to fix. Because that could just be, like, I've said this before, I will say it a million times. Fighting Marauders should be a more tactical decision. Right? Like, yeah, you can fight them you can fight them the hard way for your challenge, right? Or to see how good you are. But, you know, if that's like the only part of the game that you're really struggling on, why can't I just BFG my way past this problem? Like I can every other problem in this game.
I can't remember, what did they want you to do when it came to them? I remember it being kind of like an Undoom-like fight in a lot of ways.
You had to wait for their eyes to flash green. You had, it was a waiting game. It was a waiting game.
Well, yeah, but what did you have to shoot them, something like that? Like
Yeah. They become, like, temporarily vulnerable if you hit them at just the right time.
Oh yeah, I guess they'd stagger for like a second and a half, and you could shoot them while that was going on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, like you said, that is very Undoom-like because you're not taking the fight to them.
It did feel like when you were fighting them, it was just you standing around watching them do their thing until you could hurt them.
Yeah, it was lame.
And it's funny because that's the kind of thing that even whether they are or not can feel like they're trying to push a certain kind of monster or something like that, or an idea, as though it's like, I mean, I guess it feels like kind of what people talk about artificial difficulty, and I have my own issues with the concept of artificial difficulty, although I'm not saying it doesn't exist at all, what people are talking about or anything like that, but like, it's that kind of thing where it starts making you be like, do they really like this monster? Why are they forcing me to do it this way? You know, like... you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I remember one of the first examples someone broke out of me on artificial difficulty was the bosses in Zelda. Because there's like 2 of them that instead of just a traditional boss fight room, they have moving floors.
which one are we talking about?
Link to the Past.
Okay.
There's like 2 boss fights where the floor moves underneath them that I can think of.
One is the moth, right?
Yep.
What's the other one?
You know what? I was thinking it was the one in Turtle Rock. It's not.
No.
What is the other one?
Because I think you're right. I just can't think of what it is.
Ah, shit, I can't think of it right now.
I had a hard time calling up the moth as having that. I forgot that was part of the fight. The whole constantly being in movement to stay in place thing.
Yeah.
Which that's... I want to complain about that, but that's very Zelda design. It's kind of one of those things. You know, is it me? Or has Zelda become too puzzle heavy? It's kind of like something I think has taken over horror games as well, but like, I was thinking about how much less fighting the environment and monsters there is compared to there used to be. Like, did Breath of the Wild even have monsters in the mandatory dungeons?
Yes.
So okay, they were just
Not
wandering around and
many.
you had to fight them.
Not many.
Okay. Because I don't remember ever seeing any. I haven't actually gone through one, but I remember seeing people play it, and I never saw them fight monsters. Just do the puzzles.
The puzzles were the best part of Breath of the Wild, though.
What else is there aside from like?
Paper mache weapons.
I was to say, well, meaningless token combat.
That was a little.
And my problem, I'm not so much saying puzzles suck, is like that shouldn't be the only emphasis.
Yeah, so. Okay, I used to watch, on YouTube, I used to watch channel Ego Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
And he does a lot of shorts. He did Game Grumps. I don't know, he might still do it, I don't know. I'm out of the loop. I'm old. So, he did this series called Sequelitis.
Okay.
And he talks a lot about like the change between Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time, and how combat is now divorced in 3D Zelda from the puzzle sections.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that is true. I was going to use Ocarina of Time as an example of a game though where they still had a lot of combat in it in the dungeons. Like, I know what you mean though, because like, I feel like as those became even more true in Wind Waker, how like monsters were just kind of the stuff in the way between puzzles. They were just kind of there and in this room and would come after you, but like they weren't real obstacles.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? How there's getting to be a homogeny between adventure and horror games, right? Like, later Silent Hill games had the same thing. You know, instead of having everything all in the same room. And I'm not saying that's always the way it was in the first one, but like, you know, there's these like have you seen me run through 3?
No, I have not.
It's a lot like Wind Waker in that it's like a series of halls and other rooms with monsters in them between the puzzle rooms. So sometimes the like locked door is in a room with a couple monsters that are not worth fighting but are dangerous, like the closers or something. But so what is the one past it? What is the upgrades to those? Ah, I thought that was more ammo or armor or something coming off them, but it's more 3-round burst. Interesting. So it is a way to stack it with that.
Yeah, but I want that instead.
Yeah.
Now the question is, will I use it?
Like, what all stuff do you have at that level thing you could do on it? Just those two? Because you could do that with the combat shotgun too, right? Or did it take forever to do that one?
No, that's all I can do with the super shotgun.
Go back to the super shotgun. What's the bottom one?
Eat this. Increase number of projectiles
Oh,
per
you
shot.
did that already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I for some reason I thought you didn't buy that. Okay. Oh, the combat shotgun has the same thing. Okay, I'm not saying to buy that.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought you were looking at the... Well, it's funny because I get confused because if you remember, what's the super shotgun and combat shotgun used to be 2 words for the same weapon.
Here we go.
You know what I mean? I don't remember what version of it called it the combat shotgun. But like... Maybe I'm just confusing it with Fallout though.
You might be. City of Ryul. That's where I was.
You know, I played 3 first, but after going to 1 and then back to 3, something that hurt in the transition back was that in 1, your skill is all about your accuracy, but weapons always do the same amount of damage. So, like, you find something like a combat shotgun, it's doing full combat shotgun damage. Ooh, you missed an armor essence.
I missed a shit ton of gold.
Yeah.
Man, this game likes to mock me and my failures.
Do you think, or do you
Oh.
prefer... Oh, it kicked you back out here? How odd.
Probably hit.
Oh, you probably hit return to menu or something?
Yeah, that was probably an accident.
But, do you prefer the way this one does it, where it doles it out the way it thinks it's appropriate, or the way the first one did it, where you get to choose what you put it in?
I guess I like this more. There wasn't anything wrong with how it did it in the last one, but this also makes more sense for this the setting.
2 cosmic relics detected nearby. Collect both to proceed.
Oh, an exploration level. Yay.
You know, this isn't a complaint, but a difference between these levels and old Doom levels is there's a logical, like, reasoning in the level design. Just think about, like, an original Doom and Doom 2. Ooh, there was a switch up there. You getting off of it, we closed the door. But, you'd be like, okay, I guess this is the end. Like, you had no idea what the end was, what you're actually going for, you know what I mean? Like, you saw that there was a thing you had to destroy in the door, right? You had to shoot it with your shield.
Ah.
Look at that.
It's one of these. Is that what I broke in here? Hey. Man. That's where I came in. Don't mind if I do.
Well, done bamboozled you again.
They did, those pricks.
Oh, is that another room below?
Yes, it is. Let's explore this one. Yeah.
Is it sucking you down?
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Oh wait, destroy the thingy. Maybe there's more things to destroy?
I see where I can Nope. Oh. Oh. Oh.
What are those arrows? Oh, those are just lights.
Okay. That's neat game.
Non-Euclidean geometry.
They played my house.
Have you ever seen any of those things where like people have made like virtual reality type video game world things that follow other bases of physics? Ooh, there you go.
Not too much. Oh.
I guess yeah. Just get back to the top.
So weird. That was neat. I already got that.
Of course, I was thinking of various, you know, Lovecraft references, and at one point I saw a lore video for Game of Thrones that was talking about something. I was like, huh, that's a thing? And I watched it, and basically it was like, what's the deal with this stuff, and what are its implications, and like Game of Thrones, and it's like, all it is Lovecraft references that Martin made. It's like there's some land where like the story never takes place, where you can find this oily stone that they make idols out of, and that's literally right out of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a reference, you know what I mean? I think you come at that from the other side. Notice that's where the symbol is.
Yeah.
Only
let's
breaks from one side.
see if there was anything else. And there wasn't.
What shield thing could you do with the ruby? I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just curious.
Ah, this. Yeah, sure, why not?
What's the one past that?
The stun duration of shield saw is increased. Ah, nice. Yes, after exploring all of these others, the turret is the only way to go. Sorry.
You just need to get up another 300 gold to finish it.
Yep. Come down from there. Do kind of like these exploratory levels a bit. I mean, I am very much a fan of like the, you know, Doom, corridor design, you know. chunked. Oh, fuck you, game.
Well, somebody watched, what should we call it, that movie where the ship goes to hell.
You talking about Event Horizon?
Yeah.
It was a great movie.
Was the guy from Jurassic Park in that, or was it the other guy I was confusing with?
Yeah, I think that was him. I think that was Sam Neill.
Now the part that makes the most sense. Grabbing onto a dead body to jump.
Yes, yes, that is the part that makes the most sense of that room. There we go. Missed him the first time.
Here is it funny how slowdown comes and goes in eras of video games. You remember a couple areas where it felt like slowdown was finally gone, right?
Well, I will say there were points in like the PS2 era that kind of felt like, oh, we finally got a handle on it.
Yep.
Although it came back for the PS3 because it was just like, oh, we forgot how to do this.
Yeah.
Or we don't know how to work with this yet.
I don't know, some of it comes from stuff like, even if this game doesn't look like it, it's pushing limits just from how much stuff it's doing all at once and has going on and is explaining even if you're not looking at it. And it keeps like an eye on stuff in such 3D space. But yeah, those guys.
Game, have mercy upon me. Oh.
He doesn't have the shield on his own. No, it might be back. Oh, cool.
Dang. Oh man. Hi. Man. Well, that's no good. That's super no good. There we go. He's... Man. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Ooh, there we go. Oh no. What?
Maybe it's because you're in the middle of doing like other things, like getting your shield back and whatnot. You know what I mean? Maybe
No,
not.
it
No,
just
it's not.
really took a long time to decide to work.
Oh, well. Yeah, let's shoot me. Oh, there's a whatchamacallit behind me. Brainy boys.
Brainy boys are at it again.
Yeah. You wanted to, the game wanted you to use melee on this guy. Okay, not necessarily melee, just being close, right? Okay.
Oh.
Someone's almost seems like what you're doing is working because you're building up armor instead of health. I was thinking this guy almost feels built for that soaking up damage ability with the rocket launcher.
More armor, thank you.
Cool.
That is awesome. All right.
What do you think is a better portrayal of the Cthulhu world, this or Maius Morius's realm?
Mias Morius.
Okay.
This has some enough commonalities, but the other one kind of feels more.
Just goes into it so hard.
Yeah.
It's like everything's books and tentacles and eyeballs, nothing else.
And black goo.
Yeah, there you go, black goo.
Lots and lots of black goo.
One remaining.
Nah, that's
The time of ascension is now. No longer
who doesn't want a realm of
shackled to
stairs and books? Man. Oh, that's something I need to pick up. Okay.
You have to say, and I guess they used them a bit early on, but they haven't used Hell Knights in this as much as I thought they would. Maybe it's just because they had no restraint with them in the previous two games. 'Cause even in the first one, they're like, you know what this battle needs? More Hell Knights.
I mean, that was what Doom Eternal was. It's like, you know what this fight needs?
More Mancubi?
5 more waves.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It was 5 more of everything.
Oh, God. And, you know, everything was that, like, Quake arena shooter thing
Yeah.
going on. And that's fun. I'm not saying that it's not, but having, like, planned encounters like this is also fun.
Yeah.
And if you don't think so, you can fuck right off.
You know, I was thinking about something that's not really a part of these new Doom games. It's part of the old Doom game, running away. Like, think about sometimes the best thing to do, and then, like, let's say the key is right over there, and you walk in there, and as soon as you pick it up, this wall from, like, over here opens up, and it's just full of demons. Maybe a couple of walls open up. It's like, you could fight them, you could back up and then fight them, or you could just run the fuck away and go where you need to use the key. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gave you options.
I guess some of that has to do with the old-fashioned goal-oriented play, kind of like Mario. How Mario's not about beating Bowser, Mario's not about fighting enemies or anything like that. It's about hitting the goalpost. I mean, I guess about might be the wrong way of saying it, but you know what I mean. Like what you actually do, what the objective is to reach a goalpost. You know, the original Doom was like that. You know, sometimes you had to beat a boss to reach the goalpost, but beating a boss wouldn't end a level or anything like that. You always had to hit that exit button.
Yeah. Something is keeping me from moving forward.
You're like, wait a minute, we haven't loaded it yet. I saw you hitting the invisible wall there, and then it just kind of dissolved.
Well, get this and this, and that's the direction I need to go, but...
Yeah, what you up to? Cthulhu. Oh wait, yeah. Throw your thing up at that little yellow thing. Is that just a light? Ah, never mind. Yeah, you probably got what was back here.
Well, there's...
I guess there is more stuff there, though.
There's
This
stuff
would be the way to
there.
get it.
And it's just like, okay, but how the fuck do I get
Yeah,
it?
yeah, you're right.
Ah, maybe this way. That's how they get you to use other weapons in this game. They just make shotguns deplete their ammunition so quickly that you have to use something else. But I...
Now you probably got to keep going. The spray that, you know, doesn't make sense geometry. That and you are on a slight incline.
Am I? Okay. I wasn't sure. I was like, well, now wait, game. Wait.
I mean, it's doing its best to make you think you're just dizzy and not on an incline.
Okay, well, I've gone around a few times.
The real check is, does it just go straight back? Or are you this far up? No, you're this far up. Keep going.
Okay, okay.
I mean, for all I know, they're doing a trick of like 2 turns and you have to go 2 turns back, but like... I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just some kind of like... It almost feels like it's getting tighter, but that might just be an illusion. The achievement walked to the end of a pointless hall.
I better get one now.
This is Final Fantasy VII.
Hey, Final Fantasy 15 gave me a trophy just for watching the opening cinematic.
Well, I meant the Shinra building backstairs. You've already had something that was a differentiation in it. I mean, you're not swimming halfway up. Okay. I was wrong. It tricked. But oh, wait a minute.
No, that was just what I had to do.
Do you think you had to hit that different room to find the secret area?
I don't know. I think I had figured it out sooner. I just thought that I was looking at the way that I came in.
This is where you went in there, right? Oh no, this is up here, okay.
wait. Is there?
Can you hit that fully exposed eyeball looking thing there? Because I'm not seeing them all over the place. Ah, there you go. Okay.
Ah.
You know, some of those barriers, I wonder if you actually can get up there, or if it's like, we don't want players to try to get up here, even though they can't, just waste their time to be like, oh, I can get around the barrier that way. You know what I
I
mean?
think it was so they could funnel me into this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know that they're trying to funnel you somewhere, I just more meant, like, some of the barrier placement seems unnecessary, but I wonder if it's there to not encourage players to try to do something they can't.
Possibility.
It's like one of those boxes that were too high to jump up on had one, and I was just thinking, you tried to do a puzzle to get up onto one of those. Why is there a barrier on top of it? But I was like, yeah, it's probably some people aren't like, no, I can get around that way over that box. Sometimes it's just thoroughness though when people do that in game design. Just like this whole area is blocked, so we'll block all of it even if you can't get there.
Yeah, that guy. Whoa.
You know, Snake Eyes really made me think of the snake bad guys from the first Diablo. Which in that one counted as demons.
Damn. Damn.
But you know, interestingly enough, in the way of
just
creature
got
types, the first Diablo was more complex than the second one. Because the second one had enemies and undead enemies, right? And
Yeah.
then the expansion added demons. But in original Diablo, everything was either an animal, a undead, or a demon. And weapons affected them differently accordingly.
Ah, cool. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Oh, nice. I'm expected to take half of them out, too. There we go.
There's and that leader shield being disabled thing, and you think of Homer and his leader beans, and Marge being like, I like putting a good face on everything. But there's no face on that damn bean!
Woo. Oh wow. I thought I killed him. Awesome.
Shell ammo, so your shotgun's all the way up in the ammo. Is that Starro?
I guess.
Acquired. Proceed to the central lift.
Doom Guy knows no lengths to travel to get his collectibles. What's nice about these exploratory levels, you can just jet.
Ah.
The stars bleed and the void calls.
We get it, Doom Guy, you have the set. What purpose did that serve?
It's funny, using this item makes me think of, there was a plot point in Magic the Gathering at one point when one of the there's a few different groups of eldritch beings in that, right? And one of them is basically the Borg, which are an eldritch being threat in Star Trek, right? And at one point they created this device. I mean, and I say they're basically the Borg. They do the whole assimilating people and everything. And like they had created this device in their efforts to be able to control planeswalkers that looked very much like the top half of that thing with the tentacles and everything that would go into your body, that would stabilize the powers of planeswalkers. And a planeswalker was like, you know, it's a good idea, put this thing in my body, start using it. Like, why?
Nice. like that they chunk while you kill them. It's fun. Come on, come on. Yep.
And don't get me wrong, nothing deters a necromorph really, except for like, well, a couple weird like plot things. But like, and they still keep coming for you. But I was thinking a difference between this and Dead Space's, I guess, dismemberment system is like it never really feels like you're slowing them down at all, chunking them. I'm not saying it's not a neat effect or anything. I'm just thinking about how in Dead Space, like, you cut something's legs off and it's still, like, crawling toward you, you know? Like, it doesn't necessarily slow down. It maybe literally slows it down a little bit, but, like...
Oh, yeah.
But kind of you feel the results of your actions more.
Oh.
Like, you chop off its arms and it's still running at you, but it can't slash you with its arms.
Yeah.
You got a high percentage of the golden net level.
Got like 83% of them that time. Of the secrets.
Oh. Got your weapons. Good. Although having it gold colored, I guess it's because that had the gold weapons. I was like, that really makes me think of Ratchet and Clank, but there was literally a golden rocket launcher in that.
I have the gold shotgun.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Okay, game, you're gonna be weird. That's cool. Man. Already come a long way.
Yep.
Let's see here. How many levels are left?
I'm not sure. It was telling you their number before, but that was when you were like going to the menu in game.
Yeah.
Because it would tell you like, you know, what the next level's number was and stuff. Well, I know they got rid of that, but like.
Yeah. I guess I'm maybe 22. Hold on. Look that up.
I want to say it's in the 20s. You looked at it at one point when, like, in game, you didn't necessarily look it up, but. How many levels did the original Doom have?
Oh, God. Yeah, 22 levels.
It was was it closer to 60 or 80? Or...
God, I am not sure, honestly, because...
I remember when I originally got into the 40s, I was like, man, how close am I? Just keeps going and going. There were a lot of soldiers who got killed and resurrected as zombies in that game. You know, it's funny.
Hey.
I feel like I have a different perspective when I get a level maker of a game than other people do. Because I don't tend to be like, how can I make a level that really challenges people who know the game? I'm like, I wonder if I could restructure the layout of this game to a different escalation. Stuff like that, you know, like... Like, I might not have had a, imp be... Or I guess there's two imps in the first level of Doom, right?
I don't think so. Oh, okay. Okay. Low on ammo, not anymore. Man.
You know something I can't remember about the original Dooms is, did all of the kind of zombies have the same voice, or did they have different voices? Like, did they all make the same, like, yeah?
I think they all had the same voice.
Okay. Because I know that that was one of those, that was back when, in games, it's like, using Soundodyne to tell you what enemies are coming is revolutionary. You know, the fact that you can hear that these guys are behind the walls here, it's like, well, they're around somewhere, you know. I mean, games like that, or some of the Might and Magic games, like, really use the environmental audio type stuff.
My weapons are not. My melee is not recharging as fast as it used to.
Is it because it's on the big club as opposed to your other ones? Is that
I
one of its
just
downsides?
switched.
Ah,
There we go.
there you got another one now.
Man, that works.
Of course, it's a patch thing, and someone did an all melee run, and they're like, well, that's not how you're supposed to play the game. Let's patch that out.
I don't know if it's been patched recently. Probably has been.
I'm not sure what makes them have their armor at that.
I'm not either. Oh. Goodness.
Of course, you know, hearing the music in this part, maybe they go, I didn't watch it. I think this is what it was called, something like that. It was basically claiming, some video on YouTube claiming that the music in the new Doom game isn't even metal, and I'm like, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done with the internet. Stream's over.
That was a very necessary teleport.
I guess.
That guy's tough.
I'm tougher.
Yep.
Man. Okay. That has got to be my biggest gripe with this game, is the weapon wheel just decides to fuck off occasionally.
You know, the zombies in hell must have a pretty good union, because if you found any workspace they don't occupy. They were even on the bridge of that ship. You
Yeah.
go in there, and there were the guys over by the controls, and they turned around, but there were also a bunch of zombies in the room. They're like, no, we gotta be around, man.
That's the rule.
Yep.
It's in our contract.
You don't have to give them work, but they have to be there.
It sounds like some shit that people I work with would come up with. Let's see here. Oh, that is worthwhile.
I'm not sure what you're trying to concentrate on. Just remember that the last machine gun upgrade takes 300. I'm not saying not to get this stuff, you know, because it definitely seems handy.
We're gonna do this. I might want to equip it.
Yeah. You know, something I'm kind of curious about in this game, not that we really need to dig in and find this out, but like, let's say that you went back to level 3, right?
Yeah.
Would you have all the same stuff available upgrade-wise now, or do you have to be back one of these later levels to buy high-end upgrades?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would think you get to keep your upgrades.
Oh yeah, their availability is probably still in the shrine. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Oh. Oh. Oh.
What was it they referred to the demons as politically correctly in 2? Was it the mortally impaired?
Yes. Reminds me of that thing Trump said not too long ago, people of crime.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, okay.
Yeah, for when the word criminals escapes you.
I got some backlash. Like, some people were calling it woke bullshit. It's like, alright, but who are we saying this about again?
Yeah. That was what I always thought was funny when you showed me that article, is that it was that they were like, Trump has gone woke. And it's like, now wait a minute. What? just can't say anything anymore.
Yeah. But that is one of the few things that I will never not laugh at. People of crime.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Oh. Okay, okay, that's not gonna work. The flail regenerates a little faster, so it's kind of hard to...
Better than the poison.
Ooh.
Shield guys, both flavors.
Do you need health? Do you need armor?
Good to say, the way this game was originally talked about, people are talking about it like you were super slow on foot, and I know the shield rush makes up for a lot of that, but you're not as slow as I thought you would be when I originally heard about the game.
I still say that the devs played a lot of the RoboCop game.
Yeah.
You do move faster than RoboCop, obviously, but there's just, I don't know, there's just some, there's definitely some borrowed ideas, I think.
Yeah.
What do you got? Ooh, more arm ammo for... okay, cool, cool.
Just shooting at you, right?
Nah. Even if they are, fuck 'em.
Gotta find something to shoot at that thing.
There it is.
Yep.
Oh. There we go.
Gotta get rid of the pipes before you can use your incredible strength to break something. Maybe not. Try pushing it through the bars. like try see if doing it makes a platform be down below when you drop down there, or like just shield dash into it.
No, it's I can't target
Oh,
it.
okay. Never mind then.
But this is over here.
Yeah. And there's the water way. Ooh, okay, yeah. There's various steps. That scratched it up nice and well.
Game.
An odd mechanic.
It is a little, but
Mostly just because it's not out there, and I know we understand what to do because of all our years playing video games, but like, more than I thought there was like a switch or something, but you just gotta stand at the right angle relative to it, and then it starts being a thing, and it's like, okay. Kind of makes me think of when I was running through the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I was like, if I line these things up, and I was in like the first room of the Shinra building or whatever, where you run around with Tifa,
yeah.
and I was like trying to do a perspective puzzle, and I was like, you know, I don't think this is even a puzzle. Thing about Lovecraft stuff makes me think of, you know, one of his stories is about getting too into weird math and the consequences of it. I mean, I think Lovecraft just didn't like imaginary numbers, but
I mean, who does?
I'm not saying it's an unreasonable stance, I'm just saying that.
I remember I watched this movie, and it was based on like a short story. And this math professor he'd gone into dementia.
Okay.
And he's just trying to prove that 2 + 2 = macaroni. That kind of shit. Well, anyway, there's a part where these math teachers, I guess, or these math majors, they get together for like his birthday or something, and I guess they used to be in a band in college, and they played one of their songs called Imaginary Numbers, where they just stand there and do nothing. That is math rock for sure. You know, I was trying to remember. I was trying to remember the actor that was in it. And I want to say it was. He played Odin in the Marvel movies. He's in a bunch of stuff.
Is he old like he was in those when he played him, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anthony Hopkins.
Ah. I can't remember. What were you saying about him?
That was who the math teacher was in the movie I was talking about.
Okay.
Man. Aw. Jeez, come on. Ooh. Oh no, I'm just in here. Okay. Why do I have to do that every time? Oof.
I get the creator's thought process that might lead to it, but there's something funny about this game not having a flamethrower but still having enemies on fire drop armor.
Ooh.
Of course, sometimes games that change up some mechanics, I kind of wonder if the story reason came first or the mechanical change came first. Kind of like in Metroid Fusion, how you deliver ice through missiles in that, unlike in other Metroid games. And, you know, it makes sense story-wise and whatnot. But, like, I don't know if the story came from that mechanical decision, or if the mechanical decision came as a product of the story.
Come on. Keep the snake eyes.
Much like in Diablo 1, they have more hit points than they look like they would.
That is kind of my beef with them, is that they kind of like super tough. Yes. Ha! He reached out for it.
Yep.
That was awesome. It's like, no. Not my chest thing. Where the fuck am I going? Oh. Not going there, obviously.
Detected.
Exploring Cthulhu's boat collection, apparently.
Ah, Jesus. Because why wouldn't it work that way?
You know, I know you could ask the reasonable question, why are there grapple spots anywhere? But I think ultimately the problem with stuff like the dead bodies is the degrees of believability. That might not be the best way to word it, but you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
suspension of disbelief.
this suspension of disbelief, yeah. Yeah, that...
Because it's just like any other there to be traversable aspect of a game, but it feels different. You know what I mean?
It does. It does.
You look up, make sure there's nothing up above you. Okay. I know sometimes in games when they have areas like this, that's what you gotta do to like find something.
To find the secret, all you have to do is turn around.
You know?
Oh. Hey, there we go.
Do you think games like Doom and Castlevania are horror?
I think Castlevania tries to be horror. Well, Castlevania tried to be horror. Now it's horror light. And I don't think that's a problem. I don't mean that derogatorily. It's just, it's the Addams Family of horror. And I'm sorry, Addams Family's not fucking horror. Or at least it's not the kind of horror that you run away from, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I remember back in the day arguing that Castlevania wasn't a horror game that was set in horror, but I'm not necessarily saying that is or isn't true, but like... I know sometimes these games get labeled that way. Like commercially and stuff, but like... I guess part of what made me think of that was that that way you were going underwater there seemed to be designed to be scary, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that. I don't want to say felt out of place in Doom, but like there's not a whole lot in Doom that generally tries to give you that kind of scariness.
Well,
and like that's what kind of made me think about it. It's like, because I know these games are probably going a little more for it than some of the old ones were, but I'm not saying the old one wasn't. It was very atmospheric. It had a lot of horror-esque qualities to it. I mean, even like the way, you know, you could hear enemies, you knew they were in there somewhere, and you were trying to get around the corner and shoot them before they shot you or something like that.
I would say that the goal of Doom, as far as the developer side, is to not make players just feel helpless.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's like kind of like a key mark thing in horror is like an idea of maybe some helplessness or
Well,
you
you
know,
know-
something like that.
I watched a video the other day of someone was like, could the Eldrazi beat or who would win, the Eldrazi or the Tyranids? And, because they're two similar groups in some ways.
Okay.
But one of the fundamental differences with those two groups is the Eldrazi, as big and intimidating of foes as they are, were meant to be beaten in the story. They are overcomable.
Yeah.
The Tyranids are not written to be overcomable. You know what I mean? They're what people call an existential threat. Now, I'm not saying the Eldrazi weren't also. They're actually in some ways a bigger threat. They're a universal threat to whatever universe you happen to be in. But like,
Yeah.
well, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the problems with comparing two different movie monsters sometimes. It's like, I don't know, this monster always wins at the end of his movies. This monster always loses at the end of his movies. You know.
I'm pretty sure this is what I rode to get here. Oh. So we fight inside Cthulhu this time.
I think this is me like a Mario boss fight where you punch his organs or you're fighting other stuff in there. Like whenever Mario gets swallowed, he just starts going like commando on their internal organs. 18 out of 22.
So, 6 more levels left. Hold up.
Could be 5 levels including the one you're on, right?
Yeah, okay, my bad.
How much more do you think you want to go through tonight?
I'm not sure. How long have we been on? 2 hours. We can get another hour in at least.
I guess we did start kind of late, right?
No, we started early. We started on time.
Oh, well then that's closer. If we started at 5,
Yeah,
that's closer to 3 hours.
yeah. Well, we started a little after 5. I think maybe like 5:20.
Oh, okay.
But that's still... that's still... We're never on time around here. That was fun.
There's a game called Eternal Eyes. It's a tactical RPG,
Located.
and one of the strongest spells really looks like that doorway you had to go through.
I am familiar with this game. I've never played it though.
It's an interesting one, because you could do what you do in Tactics, where you go back to earlier fights and do them over again, right?
Yeah.
But unlike Tactics, it doesn't level up with you, so eventually earlier fights will become worthless. I'm not saying you can't get anything out of them, but you can't really level up from them anymore. You know what I mean?
It's more about, remember when you outclassed me?
Well, I mean, you can use them to grind and stuff. You can't, like, do what you do in Tactics and sit at the first battle and be like, I'm gonna get high level at the beginning.
What I do anymore when I play Tactics.
It could be a fun way to play.
It is. Running through, like, stuff where they expect you to be fucking knights and squires with fucking geomancers. No, come on. I will be getting the Ivalice Chronicles. I just haven't decided if I'm going to get it on the Switch or the PS5. I'll probably get both.
Is it only gonna be available on consoles?
That's the only versions that are getting a physical release.
Ah, okay.
And the physical release is going to be, I think, an Amazon exclusive.
Oh. Interesting.
Man. Ugh. Oof. Got a little overwhelmed there.
Cosmic Baron?
Major organ located.
Because this level's Cosmic Horror.
I guess.
Use EU to fix his heartburn.
I mean, look at what he's eating.
Yeah.
Hey. Man. See Captain America do some shit like that.
Well, the problem is if we did see him do that, it was only because someone so cynical wrote him that they were like, you know, he's a douchebag and a problem. Instead of making it badass, they make it a problem. But, like, Captain America would totally do that to Hitler, given him the chance. I think it's funny how many people were surprised he had a gun in the original movie, and it's like, yeah, he fought in war. Do you think he was out there punching dudes?
Well, he punched Hitler. Well.
It was also a real political leader at the time. I mean, it's almost amazing by modern standards what you could get away with doing back then, you know? Of course, did you ever see that Superman comic? It was from before World War II started. but in it, what's his name? Superman grabs Hitler and Stalin and brings them before a world judge to pay for their crimes.
Superhero comics are just power fantasy.
Yep.
Ah. Hate those things.
I mean, it does make one wonder how differently things would have played out if it was Stalin who started shit and not Hitler, and we sided with the Nazis to get rid of the Russians. Because that's basically what we did when we sided with Stalin. You know, a lot of people were like, it's not worth siding with evil to fight evil, you know. We don't look back on it that way so much, but... you know.
That's how we looked at it after World War II.
Yeah.
Ooh. That plan did not plan out. I'd say 50 has me at low health. Yeah, I guess it does. That solves that problem.
You know, I wonder if you landing does damage in an area, or if fodder demons just instantly die.
That is a good question. I'd say fodder demons instantly die, but there is kind of at least the animation of a shockwave.
Okay. Ooh.
No. No.
Oh, these guys.
Yeah, no, fuck that guy.
Fastest one of those things you've done.
Yeah, no, fuck that guy.
Two more.
Okay, game. Okay. Dude.
I would say this level doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but then I guess that's the beauty of using Cthulhu as your level design. You don't have to make any sense.
Goodness.
You know, I don't mean this as in to poison himself. I just mean to like clean his body out. I think Cthulhu needs to eat a mint and drink some bleach. Yeah, try that like wind up thing next to it.
That's weird. I guess that was it. Of course.
Yeah, nothing funky about the physics of this game.
Why did that make me jump higher? Okay, game. Okay.
There's some very climbable snot there.
Yeah.
You know, not every organ is the stomach, Bethesda. Yeah, that'll work. Oh. I don't need to fight half of the armies of hell just to get to this one? Okay. Thanks, game. Is that a dripping corpse up to your right?
Yes, it was.
I'm not necessarily saying go over there, you can go look at what you're looking at, but...
No, that's... I think what I was looking for was right there. Or maybe it wasn't. Alright, game. Be weird. Keep your secrets. A mint and drink some bleach. It would be absolutely unbearable to be in here.
Ah, yeah. I actually saw a complaint recently about this game, and the complaint is literally that you can block parry shots. It's like, that's a problem. Maybe the game's too easy for you. I don't know. But
I can't engage in the game the way that I want. That's your problem, pal. Man. Some... Ha! Let's go. Fuck you, I blocked those. I didn't block that. Okay, game. Ugh. Enough of you. Jesus Christ, what's fighting me now? Nothing.
The
okay.
floor?
The floor? Yeah. Yeah, it was the floor. I'm having to use that.
I don't know how many
Ballista.
times over the. Oh, sorry, you haven't used what?
I'm having to use that ballista thing more.
Ah.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
I just said I don't know how many times over the decades of playing video games I've been basically in a situation we're in, but then I died because I was standing on a damaged floor. You know, succeeded, then. You know, maybe I died in lava enough times that it became a little less awesome, but like, I was just thinking about the whole thumbs up thing in the first one when you fall in lava.
It was quality. Jesus. Turn that down. I gotta keep it pretty chill in this room, and
That or more.
that's fine. Kind of more wanting the compressor to just go off. Ooh, ooh. Ah. Ha! Here we go. Oh, I guess I was in it. Man, it is all over the room.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you a whole lot of... I'm not giving you a whole lot of room to get around that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, it's just everywhere. Okay. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, God. Everything is acid.
Woodstock all over again.
Not that acid. Not that acid. Ah, and then he throws down more, motherfucker. Because there's not enough bullshit on the ground as it is.
He got his armor off. Oh. Thank you, Akana.
Yeah. Whew. Ah. 3.
When would you say the game design of pushing buttons so that you could push a button started?
Zelda for sure.
Yeah.
But I would say it goes back further than that. Probably Adventure.
What was that door in the wall? I guess that's where you came from, wasn't it?
It's not.
Yeah. No.
That's where I need to go now. So... no. No. Okay. Okay. Glowing green thing.
Oh.
Oh. I was saving that ammo. Yeah, Pepto's not gonna fix that motherfucker.
Yeah. you shoot him in the blasphemy organ?
The Old One, lost forever.
So if the new Doom game doesn't have metal in it, what does Doom have in it? Because I'm sure that guy was like, it's not metal. I'm sure he presented like, this is the genre of music that it is, peasants.
Yeah, probably.
You didn't watch it, or?
Oh,
like-
I said that earlier. I didn't watch it, but I just
Oh,
saw
okay,
that
okay.
being a video that, you know, that like a lot of that kind of stuff. It's just like I'm like, okay, don't even watch it. I'm not saying I never do, but like a lot of it ends up boiling down to that. How many stars do you need to beat Mario 64? And it being like, now if you cheat, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's not a real question. You know, I'm not trying to sincerely saying people can't cheat or anything, but you know, it's like, you know what I mean about the nature of the question being invalidated by that being a fundamental aspect of the answer.
I saw a video, like it was like a challenge run in a game that dude was doing, and it was a game where I don't remember. Oh, can you beat Final Fantasy VII with items only?
Okay.
No, you can't.
I would believe that. The items, there are some damage items, but I wouldn't say any of it's powerful enough to do certain things.
So the thing is then,
Like, why did he say you can't?
well, no, he was sitting there. As the video would go along, he would mutate the challenge so that he could continue to go. And I was like, alright, but in the first battle you've already used weapons and magic, so...
Yeah, I guess you don't gain access to damaging items at the beginning, do you?
You do not. You gotta wait till the first town and then you can get grenades.
Because I was thinking, oh, there's anything you can steal from. You don't have steel until after the second reactor. Oh, no, not after the second reactor. After, Wall Market. When you go and save Eros. It's down in the sewers, but... I want to say you can buy it eventually after that, but I want to say you have to be out of Midgard before you can buy steel. I could be wrong. You can buy it in either Calm or Junin, I think.
I think you can buy it in Calm.
Okay.
I feel like you can, but...
Yeah. I could see that definitely being true.
Oh,
This is the kind of thing I shouldn't worry about. I don't know if I call this a straight up challenge run, but something I might... I was just thinking maybe I need to do at some point in Final Fantasy VII is, instead of stealing equipment, I'm not saying I'd necessarily like absolutely never steal any equipment, but try using the, like, I want to say that if you don't steal the hard edge, the first upgrade for Cloud is something like a Mithril Saber or something in Calm, but it's not quite as strong as the, it's like 24 instead of 30 or something like that, you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
And just kind of see what the game feels like with the weapon power of what you can buy weapons as opposed to, like, stealing weapons and armor that would be better for you in advance.
My first playthrough, that's how I did it. I didn't even know you could steal the hard edge until I got the guide. I rented it. This is actually before I had a PlayStation. I had a brother who had a... I have a brother who had a PlayStation at the time. And I was staying over there for a weekend for some reason. I don't remember why. Maybe some family was going out of town, so I was staying with him for a couple of days. Well, anyway, I got through, like, I remember getting out of Midgar. Because I didn't have the game very long, and I was, like, I remember there was, like, a part of the game I was kind of stuck in because it's just, the presentation is a little odd.
Yeah.
It's like when you're on your way to Walmart and you're outside Sector 7. There's that like one spot where it's just like, how am I supposed to get through here?
Ah. You know, it's funny because I almost got stuck in Game Over in an early part of Final Fantasy 7 when I replayed it because, you know, like, after Sector 7 gets destroyed and Cloud just kind of wanders off onto that screen by himself, what you're supposed to do is walk a few feet forward, and the other characters will come and be like,
Hey, Cloud.
but you can't walk back onto that screen that you came from until they do that.
Oh.
And so I was kind of stuck on that screen, getting into battles, being like, what the hell am I supposed to do now by myself as Cloud? I can't go that way. I eventually figured it out. I just somehow ended up not walking far enough to trigger that scene, you know what I mean? But I was still walking around getting into battles, and that's like, just an odd place to be stuck in the game. There's a couple other Final Fantasy games that my original playthrough I got stuck at some point and ended up getting higher level than you're supposed to just because I didn't know what I was supposed to do to get past that point.
I didn't get stuck a lot in 4, but I got stuck a lot in 6.
Ah. I originally got stuck in 6 was that first mountain place you go on, because I didn't know you had to be as precise as you did to go and walk onto the bridge.
Yeah,
I
Jesus.
was used to more physics-based games where it kind of lead you down over to that. I was
Yeah.
like, where the hell am I supposed to go? I searched that first little world part, just couldn't find where I had to go. Yeah, some of my old levels in those games, there was, like, kind of like my level in Mario RPG from back in the day, or some of my old, like, levels in 7 and 8 and stuff like that. Like, I kind of wonder, like, the first group of characters I got to the end of 8, I kind of wonder what I had on them and stuff. You know, like what I had and hadn't done, like if I was junctioning anything, stuff like that.
I did not properly figure out the junction system till well after my first play of Final Fantasy VIII, and even after understanding it, I was like, this is dumb.
At some point I need to figure out for myself what spells I want to fill my spell list with and which ones I just am like, I don't need those. Because there are more spells than you can have, so you do have to pick and choose a little bit. There are some things that are somewhat redundant, like I want to say that there is a spell that puts blind, poison, and silence on something. So if you're wanting to protect your... I don't remember if it protects as well as they do. I might need to look into Chronal, I know it doesn't, but I feel like kind of some stuff like that in Meteor can have some elemental or status stuff on it that can be like, oh, you don't necessarily need to have poison if you have pain, I think it was called. Of course, it's interesting. Something I do that goes against min-maxing convention in Final Fantasy VIII is I use Ultima to protect myself from elemental damage.
What the fuck happened?
I don't remember what the exact combo was, but it's something like Ultima, Life 2, and either Life or Shell will make it where if you have those three things on, and I think you could have a fourth things actually, because I guess I forgot the defenses get times 4, so it's probably Shell, Life, Life 2, and Ultima make you absorb all elements. not a very high absorption. It's only like 20% or something like that. But you know, just turns all that stuff into healing, not damage. I mean, of course, if you mixed Ultima with like Fire God, it's definitely gonna get you up there or something like that. You know, so like 100 or so percent. I don't remember if you can get past 100% absorption or not. It's been a while since I've tested that kind of stuff. Of course, it's funny because that's a game I do a lot of grinding at the beginning now. Usually, maybe I need to do a run showing my method of going through the game. But a lot of people, what they do is they'll do a bunch of cards at the beginning and then use those cards to get stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I won't play a lot of cards in a run. It's just that's not the method I use anymore. What I do is, and I know a lot of people don't like doing this because it messes up their battle report, makes it not perfect, but like the part when you're on that mission, the like exam mission where it's Zell, Squall, and Cipher, right? I guess it's Cypher.
Caution. Fear signal is
You,
surrounded by targets.
Kill off Squall and Zell, and just fight with Cypher against those groups of soldiers over and over again. And not only do you level him up to about 63 or so, right?
Yeah.
That will like make the you can collect all 3 tiers of cure spells, and eventually the guys will have the 3rd tier of cure and the 3 basic elements.
Okay.
And so then you can use those 3 basic elements and some high-end cure spells to junction yourself well enough for so much of the game that like basically it's a great foundation because the other 2 characters are going to stay low level.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if Cypher gets high level because if when he leaves your party, he leaves for good, and so it doesn't affect your scaling anymore. And also something that's nice about that is it gives everything he has on, like everything that's junctioned to him and all magic in his inventory, it gives it to Selphie when she joins your party in that part of the game. So she will have the, you know, all the fire guns and stuff like that he does. I know it's only enough for half your people, but like, you could like literally just, there's a function to switch what's junction on somebody to somebody else. That could actually go a long way to making the game a lot more, like, if you do that, I still try to get level up bonuses really hardcore and go through a long part of the game with using the card ability without leveling up so that I can do that as much as possible. But you really wouldn't need to do that in a run like that as long as you made sure to get some of the other higher level spells later in the game. It's also not as hard as I thought it was to get, like, the 60% bonus stuff on your abilities to the core stats, and 80% when it comes to hit points. You could almost double your hit points. Of course, if I go through the game again, there's some stuff like, the last couple times I went through the game, I did some kind of weird stuff like holding off on activating some things. I think I would like, because you know there's a way to get Rosetta Stones at the beginning of the game pretty much. It's not at the very beginning of the game, but it's as early as when you're in that prison.
Okay.
If you play enough cards in there, you can win Rosetta Stones. And what they let you do is put ability times 4 on summon monsters, so they can have 4 ability slots. That can make a big difference. I want to say you only need like, what is it, 4 or 5 of them if you're just getting as few as you need, but you could, at the beginning of the game, get a whole 6. I think you only do need like 4 of them, I think. So you find one, and like, one of the monsters starts with one, if not 2 of them started with it, so you might not need as many as I'm thinking, but you could get a full set of them at the beginning. I think next time I go through the game, I'm going to do that, even though it takes a while.
Yeah. Whew. Whew. Yeah. Turn that down again.
Sentinels know so little about themselves. She has the spirit of an ancient sentinel god within her. A wraith who are descendants of this realm. Here her energy becomes fully realized. And it can be harnessed.
Well, it's not J.B. Blazkowicz.
We should kill him. We'll need something more permanent. Etrigos, Saraf, Mazike.
And that is how children are born.
I mean, we did the orifice and everything, yeah. It's kind of how it works.
Dude in the chair is like, I'm getting right the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Alright. It's not quite what I meant to do, but whatever. We're gonna kill it here.
Good.
It's 8:30. It's 8:30 my time, our time. Looks like night rain tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But we'll see. Just remember that every stream is tentative.
Yep.
So, Doom's fun. Get Doom, play Doom. You need more Doom in your life. Play Doom video games, listen to MF Doom, read Dr. Doom comics.
I think we're getting off topic slightly, but okay.
I'm just saying, you need more Doom in your life.
What they need to do is make a mod of this where you play Doom, and I don't just mean Doom using guns, but like instead of like the various guns, it's weapons on his like outfit and spells he has.
You know, I could tell that they really wanted to make a Hexen game, but they knew no one would buy Hexen. So they're like, Doom, the Dark Ages.
Well, you know, I know there'd be tons of videos to be like, you know, Hexen was a pre-existent franchise, but a lot of people would be like, what's Hexen?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only reason people still know what some other games like Myst are is because they're just making videos to be like, you know, Myst exists? There were these kinds of games back then? It's like, yes. Yes, there were.
Myst tricked me as a kid. I was like, oh, cool, like a first-person adventure thing. I didn't realize that it was like a slideshow.
Yeah.
And I got it on Sega Saturn. Which is why I went out of my way to buy it on Sega Saturn as an adult, because it's like, well, I had it as a kid. I want
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I can understand more now, not that it's necessarily the kind of game I'm particularly into, but I remember my uncle who was really into games, and he was where I saw, like, you know, Resident Evil and Doom and, like, Diablo 2 and stuff like that, but he was playing that, and he was really into it, and I'm like, why? As a little kid, I really didn't get what was interesting about that game.
You know what? It took a lot of poking and prodding at that game to figure out why it was fun. Nah, that's good. It took me a lot of poking at it to be like, oh, I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think Amnesia was trying to be that, but more actiony?
Didn't play Amnesia.
Okay. I mean, neither did I, but I've seen some play of it.
Oh, that was a game that a certain anonymous image board kept telling me was really good and that I needed to play it. And I was like, well, I don't take advice from you for lots of reasons.
Well, I mean, that place also promotes that game with sex with a certain someone.
Anyway, this is John,
This is Nerd Eater.
and yeah, later.
Yep.
Hey, say the thing.
Oh. I guess until I see you later. See you later.
So that's how you market a catchphrase, man. Come
Yeah.
on.